But when the Cleveland Browns defense is at home, this is by far one of the best defenses in the last 15 years and the best defense that the Browns have ever had rostered since they came back to Cleveland in 99. What's good with y'all, man? It's your boy Will back with another video, and today we're gonna get into another interesting video topic. Happy Monday to you guys. Welcome back to my channel. We back here with the weekly grind. We take breaks with the weekends off. But we back to the grind, man. I hope you guys had a good weekend. I hope you're feeling good. Hit that like and subscribe button, man. But anyways, today I wanted to bring up an interesting topic. As we got near the end of the season, it became evidently I want to say, it's a lot of people that had the sense that the Baltimore Ravens maybe had a better defense than the Cleveland Browns. And the Browns kind of went away from being widely known as the best defense on earth to being maybe the third best defense or the second best defense behind either the Ravens, the Cowboys, or the Niners. But it was no denying that the Cleveland Browns team is a top 5 defensive unit. And 5 is on the surface level. 5 is on an average day. So, this team and the narrative kind of got away from them when they lost that game and they laid that egg against the Texans. That's when really everything started to come. If you go online or anywhere, you really can see that people will try to use that Texans loss as a way to taint this Browns season and taint what the defense did. It was a defense that pretty much dragged their quarterback play to 10 wins. Outside of when Deshaun Watson played the Titans, the Bengals, the Cardinals, and the Ravens, outside of those games, you talking about the defense winning 7 games for you. 7 games out of 11 games they win for you. And a couple of those games isn't lost because of the defense. Specifically like Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh is a game you put on quarterback play. And you got to look at this team, man. This defense really only lost a couple games for us. I put a lot of blame on the Seahawks loss, the Texans loss, and of course the loss against the Broncos. It's the Rams loss. Playing away, playing on the road. Sometimes they weren't able to, still be as good as the defense on the road as they was at home. But when the Cleveland Browns defense is at home, this is by far one of the best defenses in the last 15 years and the best defense that the Browns have ever had rostered since they came back to Cleveland in 99. This team is very, very talented. This is a defense that could easily carry this team to another 10-11 season, despite whatever the quarterback is. We got a defense, the Browns have a defense that's so good to the point where they don't necessarily even need good quarterback play to win football games. And a lot of people will come from the negative aspect and say, hey, they got kicked against the Texans, and hey, they're due for a regression. I beg to differ with that. It's kind of hard to say that this team is due for a regression when you got to look at all the factors that they had entering the season. You got a Jim Schwartz who is coming in from they had Joe Woods coming in with Jim Schwartz, completely different philosophy, and with that, they had to install a defense. They had to install a defense. So with installing a defense and being that dominant off the gate, off the battier, week 1, destroying Joe Burrow, coming out here for season 2, I expect this defense to take a step. You got guys that's going to be 2 years in the system. 2 years in the system, and they're young. That's the good thing about the Browns. You got a lot of guys that most teams, when they have a championship caliber team, they got a lot of guys that's good, but they're getting older. So you always deem the question like, hey, yeah, he's good. Yeah, he knows the system, but is he going to be the same player because of age? With this Cleveland Browns team, we're expecting players to improve. So you got guys like Denzel Ward, who's young. Guys like Martin Emerson, young. Greg Newsome, young. JOK, young. Myles Garrett, young. Your key, Grant Delpit, young. Juan Thornhill, young. All of these guys are under the age of 29. Your key players Most of them is either entering or hasn't got their prime yet. And they had a season like that with just learning that defensive system. So now with this Browns team, I'm expect this defense to take a step, or at least to remain at their level of play that they were at last year. They only lost Taki. They brought in Michael Hall, so they're going to get better on the interior. They're still going to be as dangerous as they are with their corners. They're still going to be as dangerous as they are with their safeties. They got an improved Grant Delpit. They got Juan Thornhill, and they got Rodney McLeod, who is really good at his own role in itself. 3 good safeties. McLeod is a solid safety. Grant Delpit is a potential Pro Bowler. And I can see a year where Juan Thornhill could maybe become a Pro Bowl candidate. You look at the cornerback position. You got 3 potential Pro Bowlers. Denzel Ward, he's an all-pro player. Martin Emerson, pretty sure he should have made the Pro Bowl last year. Greg Newsome, he's able and capable of making a Pro Bowl. He's right up there with Martin Emerson and Denzel Ward once he's, playing at the right position and playing comfortable. You got a guy backing him up in Cam Mitchell, who got a potential to even take his spot. This cornerback room is definitely dangerous. You got 3 potential Pro Bowlers, and in the secondary alone, you got 5 potential Pro Bowlers. It's a really, really dangerous secondary, man. And it's not even the strength of the defense. The strength of the defense is that defensive line, led by the Defensive Player of the Year, who won Defensive Player of the Year on one of his lower statistical years. And got Zadarius Smith on the other side of him, another vet guy, a guy that you would maybe be concerned about his age. And on top of Zadarius Smith, you got Isaiah McGuire out there and Ogbo Okoronkwo. You brought in Michael Hall. You got Dalvin Tomlinson. You're covered across the board. You still got Ikea. We can see what he's going to turn out to be. You still got Mo Hurst. You still got, I already said Maurice Hurst. You still got Shelby Harris. I'm pretty sure we still got Shelby Harris. Very deep defensive line group. You could throw Zadarius inside, throw Ogbo, have Dalvin Tomlinson, have Miles running like that. Bring in Michael Hall, bring in Isaiah McGuire, bring in different units and different lineups and different sets. You could throw Miles inside with Zadarius. Give, Tomlinson and Hall maybe a break, Harris a break. Throw Zadarius, Miles inside with Isaiah McGuire and Ogbo on the outside. It's a lot of dangerous things this team can do. And they have the best defensive line group in the National Football League on top of having a top 5 secondary. Their weakest unit is the linebacker core. You can say the linebacker core is about a top 20-ish, top middle of the pack type of linebacker core. But they have a linebacker in the name of Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah, who's able and capable of being a top 3 linebacker in his position. So you got to look at it. Well, hey, their strength, they got the best D-line in the league. They're going to get after the football, got to get the ball out quick, but they also got a top 5 secondary. Okay, top 5 secondary. We're going to go at the linebackers. And here comes a top 3 potential all-pro superstar on the horizon, Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah. Like, hey, I'm the best linebacker here, but I'm all that matter. Covering, tight ends, blitzing. This is a very, very, and not to mention, to remind you guys all again, this is a very young team. And not only is this a very young team, this is a team that's going into their 2nd year in the system. This is a very, very, very dangerous Cleveland Browns team. I could name you 3 players, 3, that can have all-pro years, and even if the defense do take a regression, just the simple fact of them improving will have this team at the same level, if not better, as they was last year. Martin Emerson. Imagine if Martin Emerson develops a little bit more and turns into a shutdown corner. You got him and Denzel Ward out there, man. That's tough. With that defensive line group, that's dangerous. Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah. Imagine adding a top 5 linebacker to Denzel Ward, Myles Garrett, Zadarius Smith, Grant Delpit, Juan Thornhill, Martin Emerson, Imagine adding a top 5 linebacker to this team. A top 5 linebacker. And I'll give you one more guy. Grant Delpit. Let's not forget about Grant. He was breaking out last year. Imagine adding a top 5 safety, a top 10 safety to this Cleveland Browns defense. You can't tell me this is not the best defense in the league. Anybody saying that the defense will regress, I completely beg to differ. But I ain't gonna hold y'all time up too much, man. I could talk about this a million different ways, man. But y'all make sure y'all hit that like and subscribe button. I'm gonna drop probably 4 to 5 videos for y'all this week straight. So this will be Monday. So y'all get a Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday video. Either y'all gonna get a Friday video or y'all not gonna get a Friday video. But knowing me, I'm gonna give y'all a Friday video. I feel like I've been doing good being consistent with y'all. So y'all can be consistent with me. Hit that like and subscribe button, man. Follow me on my X. Follow me on my Instagram. Support the brand. Love y'all, boys. Please be careful out here. I'm out. Peace.